Support for the Players, the Pop Culturist PlayStation podcast, is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the ultimate men's hygiene bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FTP at au.manscaped.com. If my math is correct, and it might just be, that's about 8 million balls.
For the Players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the pop culturist PlayStation podcast with 40 years of playing PlayStation, 10 plus years in that games meeting. But I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come and check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join us as the conversation happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Telling your friends, telling your family about this PlayStation pod. If you are listening on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit without logos on it. Additionally, you can help support the brands that help support us, just like our friends over at Manscaped. But we'll talk about them in just a moment. Now, before we even started the show, Max,
I'll do that before you even start this. I just want to congratulate us on having a lot more energy than last week.
Oh yeah, I have slept correctly. I had so much sleep last night. I intentionally went to bed at an unreasonable time, well, reasonable-ish, but I did because I had nothing planned today. I just kind of slept, and so my energy is way up here now.
I went to bed at 5:30 this morning.
Oh.
In classic me, and then my kid threw a tantrum outside my bedroom door at 10.
Hey! That's slightly more. But anyway, before we, now that we're all full of energy and we're in a good space, before we started opening the show, we were just bullshitting here with the chat, and Max goes, hey, something on Facebook Marketplace has caught my attention. You can buy a half pipe. You haven't, where I live, in the house that I live in by myself, I have a courtyard, I have a little back area. There is room for me to put a half pipe. Now, it's a mini pipe. It's not a big full fucking scale half pipe. It's a little mini ramp. And, Max did send me the photos of the mini ramp, and I'm looking at them right now for those listening at home. And, it's not too bad. It's pretty small for scale. It's only $350. That's actually really not bad. It's a very long run between the two pipes, but that could work. I could work. I would like to if I was going to do a mini pipe and then hurt myself, I'd much rather do it at home than at the concrete one that I'd take my son to. Oh, this is actually a great idea for my son. I could totally make this happen. Hi, patreon.com/popculturist can get me a mini pipe for my son. Yeah, you're not supporting the show, you're supporting me buying dumb shit for my child. Oh, man. How's your week been, man?
Honestly?
Yeah?
I don't remember much of this week.
Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I have been blackout drunk all week. I couldn't tell you what happened.
No, it was just, this is one of those weeks. I mean, kind of just gone through the motions. Nothing really big or exciting happened. And then, my weekend's over too quickly. All those things that come with full-time employment.
Yeah, all the usuals. Look, my week's not been that bad, man. I've had a pretty up week actually. Except my room, like my room in this house smells like dead mouse, which means there's a dead mouse on the roof somewhere. And my fear of mice. I did poke my head into the roof yesterday afternoon to be like, well, let's see if I can. What's the situation up there? I was expecting like a pile of dead mice, but no, it is so tight in my. I've got quite high ceilings, so there's not a lot of gap in the roof. So like I was thinking, look, I'm gonna climb in there, face my fear, crawl around, look for some dead mice, and then panic attack, and then I'll fall through the roof. That was my plan, right? But when I got in there and I realized that if I actually climbed in, I would be trapped. I would be Winnie the Pooh in that motherfucker. It'd just be me dangling legs, like screaming for help. Because
this is how Ryan found out he was claustrophobic.
Yeah. So like I did actually contemplate, like speaking of Facebook Marketplace, do I just like try to rent a small person? Man seeking small human to climb through roof. I felt that may have opened up some dangerous doors, so I decided to not do that. I didn't want to send my kid up there because this is an old house. It's probably full of asbestos. It's probably the safest idea to throw my kid up there. But yeah, my week's been pretty good. It's been not too bad.
Get a cat.
Just throw the cat up there.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah, that could work. Man seeking to rent small man and or cat. Oh, that's a really fucking weird ad. That's one of those weird Craigslist ads if you ever heard. But yeah, no, it's been really good. I have been. I did the wrestling show last week. What have I done this week? Not a whole lot in terms of the actual like day-to-day stuff. Work is work. I've been just chilling out, watching the wrestlings as I do. Craig over on Thursday, watch Dynamite as we do every week with the A-dubs. But I have been really just enjoying my new television. And I talked about it last week. So for those that may have missed it, last week I talked about how after the longest time,
does it now look like a plasterer's radio at the end of the day?
It's look, I have decided that as I said, I'm now in a committed relationship with this TV and the heater. Actually, I'm in this polyamorous thing with my TV and my heater. We all affectionately love each other very much, and we all snuggle, and I give everyone a kiss goodnight because I love my heater, I love that TV, I love myself. It's all perfect. But no, like I've just been like, what is shit that I can watch on this? Like I dived into all the streaming services, went into their 4K categories. I'm like, all right, give me something bright and colorful. So it's Tropic Thunder. What a fucking movie. And it's still good. Now look, last night I did fall down not a visually stimulating rabbit hole of movies. I fell down this rabbit hole and I started watching a bunch of old 2000s raunchy comedies. Like in my list is like American Pie is a recommended. And I was like, okay, well I've seen that. But like if I click on it and it goes, you like American Pie, you might like the following. I was like, all right, let's see where this takes me. So I ended up watching The Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
Which I had never seen before in my entire life. I've heard about it, but I'd never seen it. So, are you aware of this film? Look, hey everyone, we do talk PlayStation at some point. We just bullshit at the start to catch up. Because this is the only time that Max and I really catch up in the week. So we just kind of fuck around.
No.
No, okay, cool. So this is the premise. It came out in 2004, so all the raunchy comedies before it have already been made. All the successful ones have already been made. It is a derivative, straight carbon copy of every fucking cliche that those 2000s raunchy comedies could have ever made, right? So the idea is this main character, for some reason he looks like he's about 48. It's real weird. He has been a real good school kid the whole time. The idea is like for his yearbook, he's like, oh man, the things that I'll remember from my senior year. Nothing, because all he did was study and stuff, right? He's got his nerdy ass friend. He's got his friend that's like, sex deviant, whatever. The usual three people they put into these movies.
The Stifler and
the Stifler and the nerdy kid, whatever, right? Yeah. So the idea is that the neighbor. They're out of town and they get their niece to house sit, right? Like, oh, that seems really cool. That's fun. So it turns out, then it's just she's everything that this kid would have ever wanted. She's attractive. She's fucking adventurous. She's
what confident. You're telling me is she's the girl next door.
She's the girl next door.
Okay.
But the twist that makes it so insane. And this really tells you its fucking age. It's like, she used to be a porn star. Which is also really unnerving because that means, let's just presume she did like...
Okay, so she's a senior.
Yeah, no. She's not a senior.
And she's a retired porn star.
This is it. This is the thing. So either she did... There's a lot of things that are really uncomfortable about this scenario. One, either she did some underage porn and she's like 18 now. Questionable. Two, she's over 18. He isn't. Okay, sure. There's another one right there. But they don't really specify her age, so you presume at best she's like late teens, early 20s. He's like 17 because it's the senior year of high school. And it's just like, there's an uncomfortableness here. That I'm just like, that's weird. But then the best, at no point, like apparently it's so controversial that she's a fucking porn star before. I'm like, that screams early 2000s sort of conservative US. You know, conservative US right now is fucking way worse. But it's just like, who fucking cares? But yeah. Anyway, I watched that like last night. I was like lying on my couch, like, why the fuck am I watching this? And then I went to bed because it was stupid. But like, everything about the movie is just complete straight cliche. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I really kind of enjoyed it. So then I watched Clerks 2 for a little bit, and I was like, oh man, because like obviously being the big Kevin Smith fan that I am, I was like falling in love with it. Absolutely.
I mean, I must admit, Umbrella, the new season of Umbrella Academy started on Wednesday. I finished it on Friday. All 10 episodes done in 2 days. The ability to binge things makes it so much more appealing to actually.
Yeah, well that's the thing, because like I've been watching Breaking Bad again with Craig, my friend in the chat. You know, he's the Mullet Show is always around. So watching that on the new sexy TV, those playing at home, Samsung 65-inch Q80A, I think. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, so I watched The Boys today for the first time. I read the comic like a decade ago, but I've never watched it. So, like, I started watching it today. Holy fuck, is that show insane? It's just gory and sweary. And, like, I read the comics, and I cannot remember any of this. But then again, I read it like a decade ago, so there's that. So, Taz in the chat talking about Stranger Things. I've never watched Stranger Things. My day job is, like, helping people play D&D. And, like, that show is pivotal in D&D subculture. At least, you know, and, like, I still haven't watched it. I don't know why. But anyway, now we'll get into the section like, what have we been playing, right?
So much.
So much? So look,
so much.
Because we're talking about my TV, I'm going to jump in first. So, last week, when they did the big Capcom showcase, right? They were like, hey, Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake, 7, they all have they've all been jacked up or whatever, upgraded to the PS5 version, the current gen version of it. And one of the things they mentioned was that, what's it called? Resident Evil 2 and 3 now have a 120 frames per second version. And with my new TV, it does have the 2.1s, the HDMIs. It's got the 120 refresh rates, hertz, frames, plus also a variable refresh rate. I was like, man, I'm yet to actually check out what 120 frames looks like.
Play Devil May Cry.
I might have to. Because it looks mad. Like, just booting the game up and watching the dude, like, in the truck, just mung on that burger. It's beautiful. It's just so smooth. It's so smooth and pretty. But, we'll have to re-download Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. Whatever, is that the one? Number 5?
Yep, Devil May Cry 5.
Give that a burl, the 120. See how it looks. I reckon it would look amazing. But yeah, I've just been throwing games on it that look really good just to sort of test it on out. I have played a couple of games this week, but they've mostly come from like the PS Plus, which we'll talk about shortly. But I did play a bit more of The Quarry. I'm in Chapter 9 now. I'm right around the corner from the end. I've been shooting you messages as I've been playing, being like, did you do this? And you go, yes, I did. I'm like, oh, cool. Did you do this? Like, no. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, I know we're supposed to have different stories, but I'm really enjoying being like, did you do this, Max? So I'm really, really close. I'm still really, really enjoying it. The only downside, and we will be talking about this in the next week or two as we do our bonus episode, More the Players, with our friend Kat over at Hear Us Scream. One thing this game does really bad is water. Water looks like asshole. And there's like two major key scenes that use water, and it's disgusting. Disgustingly bad. Horrible. What about you, Max? Outside of PS Plus games, we talk with them a little bit later. What have you been playing?
I've been playing nothing new,
Gross.
but I've been playing a lot of older stuff. So I dove back into Minecraft because Minecraft's new. Minecraft's new Holy Mountain update, the caverns and whatever the hell it was update is now live. So as we normally do, we set up our server and get that going. So that's been playing that a fair bit. Still grinding Cliffs and Caves. Thank you, Park. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there you
go. So basically, I found this gigantic mountain with just this. That's just been completely hollowed out by this massive cave system that I've been exploring for the better part of the last week. It's been fun. Still, grinding away at Diablo 2. I have been playing a ton of PlayStation Classics thanks to the new PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, hold off on that one because that's news topic number one.
And then, what else have I been playing? A lot more Rocket League. New season started. Got to get that grind on. I throw back into Assassin's Creed because I will eventually finish that game this year because.
It's your backlog challenge. I still need to go back to In Sound Mind. I haven't touched it.
I'm having this really hard problem now because we received a review copy for that game and it's on the PopC account. So I've been playing it on the PopC account, but now it's part of the new PlayStation Plus. I'm like, I can play it on my own account and get some trophies, and then I'm like, but I have to start again.
Well, how many hours you put into it?
And that's such a fucking huge commitment because I've already played like 30-something hours.
Ooh, yeah, you don't do that again. See, but you made the poor decision. So for those that may not be aware, because we did do this episode like at the start of the year. So Max and I, one of the first world problems we have with the nature of our show. Now, we're very lucky here in Australia that we're able to have a lot of connections with the games publishers here in the country, and because we're like one of the only people that do what we do in terms of, excuse me while I refresh my camera, as there's not many other PlayStation dedicated shows in the country, so we have a nice little niche. So we've been very lucky that we have we get access to a lot of review codes, which is awesome. So one of the problems that we tend to have with this is that we are really good at not seeing games through. So like we start them and then we get a good hunk of the way through, enough to review them. But there are some times like either one of us will finish the game, or as in 9 times out of 10, either I finish it and Max doesn't, or vice versa. At least one of us finishes it before we lock down the review. But then because something else will come in, we don't tend to go back. So we made the decision this year to pick games that we have, for whatever reason, didn't go back on. So my list was, because we picked in 3 categories, and each category we owed each other either a single beer, a 6-pack, or a slab, because the idea is that there are different intensities. So we've got a game that is 10 hours or less, 20 hours or less, or 30 hours or more. Mine were... what was mine?
In Sound Mind?
In Sound Mind was my middle tier. In Sound...
Red Dead.
Yeah, sorry. In Sound Mind was my first one, my under 10 hours, because I'd put a big hunk into time into that game. Second was Horizon Zero Dawn, because I'd never finished it at that point. I kept playing it but never finished it, which I have. I've knocked that off the list. And then the third one was Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I am still playing it. Oh, fuck, it looks so good on my TV. Oh, my God. Oh. But I still haven't finished it yet. Max's picks. Like, Red Dead is long. It is long. But, like, it's reasonable. Like, it's like 30, 40 hours something if you mainline it the best you can. Max's picks were...
Death Door.
Which you have finished.
I
don't think you have.
No. The next one was...
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix Rising, which I think I've got 2 missions left until I finish that game. And obviously the last one was the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Which, like, on the record is like 67, 70 hours to get credits on.
Yeah, should be right.
It was a bold strategy, Cotton. Like, the game literally...
Still got 6 months.
As
Still got 6
no in the chat says, but Valhalla is the game that never ends. It goes on and on, my friends. Some people started playing it not knowing what it was. But yeah, it's a bold strategy to jump to have that be Valhalla. But yeah, you do make a good point. It's on the PS Plus now, so like you can play it on yours. Do you start again? Do you don't?
I'm not. I'm 100% not starting
No.
again. I'm not that hardcore of a trophy hunter.
Yeah, no. But it's the time investment. Like if the game's 70 hours, you've done 30.
Although in saying that, now that Returnal is also on the service, I'm totally going to hunt for that plat, not on the bloody PopC.
So for those that don't know, for context, we have a shared account for the company or the business that all our codes go to, so it allows us to play, both of us to play off one code. But yeah, that's a very, very good point.
To be fair, there's one trophy left. I've just got to get one thing in the
But yeah, because didn't kind of like hardjack you though?
Yeah.
But I'm just having a quick look. I'm gonna see because that was on that was on PS Plus. That was on. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I played. Let's see. I did dive back into Oli Oli World for a little bit. Because I know that's got a big, like a good 120 frames mode as well. I did dive into Metal Hellsinger, but I'm pretty sure I fucked up the settings because the sync was off, and that's all on me. Went back to Sifu now that it's got an easy mode.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I haven't checked that out since they dropped the difficulty setting.
It does make it a little bit easier. It's quite nice.
I'm just turning the PS5 on to work out if I played anything else.
Yeah, and then jumped into MLB The Show as well. Just be like, once again, how pretty does my TV look? It's like I'm fucking watching the damn thing. It's like I'm watching baseball. It's so good. Oh, so good.
I turned on Babylon's Fall because
Why?
I found out that it had 0 concurrent players this week, and I wanted to be the one keeping it alive.
I still remember when we reached out to fucking Bandai or Square, we're the same company here in Australia, and we're like, "Hey, can we get a review of Babylon's Fall?" And I'm pretty sure that they were almost like, "Why?" They gave us like 3 copies. They're like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Well, we barely want one. Thanks." I'm glad you were the one concurrent player. But look, we will have more to say about what we're playing in the first news piece as we talk about the brand new PS Plus. But before we jump into the news section, this is the moment where we shill for a moment. So, look, everyone knows that there is no worse feeling than getting some hairs stuck in your mouth. And thanks to Manscaped, that is no longer a concern. Max, next time I'm going to town on you, no teeth. No teeth in my hair. No teeth. I just take my teeth out and it helps. Thanks to Manscaped, I can take my teeth out. Fuck. All right, you can join the 4 million men worldwide using Manscaped, the leaders in male grooming, and their 4th generation performance package to get your jungle under control by just heading over to manscaped.com, au.manscaped.com, save yourself 20% off and get free worldwide shipping using the code FTP.
Handball. Manscaped have the right tools for your
Pull
jewels.
that mic slightly away from your face, brother. You clip it.
Sorry. Manscaped have the right tools for your jewels in the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you will find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, their Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner, the Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of those goodies. All you need to make your balls a priority.
We should also mention Manscaped's legal department, if they are listening. According to Puck, they are neither a dental apparatus or a sexual enhancement product.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe TM technology. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave, plus it's waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear holes. This nose and ear hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe TM technology. which helps prevent nicks, snags, tugs in all of your delicate holes.
But that is not all that Manscaped offer, Max, and listeners at home or at work or on the bus or on the train or wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts. Outside of just ball trimming, they are now focusing their efforts on helping out your thigh slappers in other ways with their new game-changing boxes. These are the Manscaped Boxes 2.0, Max. They have the Dual Pouch, a pouch that is designed to cradle your nads in their own very special space, lined with perforated performance fabric to keep them well ventilated, because you do want some well ventilated balls. It's basically, just imagine your balls chilling out on a hammock in a nice tropical beach. That's what it feels like to your nethers. And you can choose from an arrangement of designs and colors that fit sizes from your smalls to your 3XLs. So regardless of the size of your waist and or package, there is a pair that fits you. But look, you may be looking all trim, you may be holding them all nicely, but the one thing you want to do is make sure everything smells good too. And that's why Manscaped have moved beyond your down under area by releasing the Ultra Premium Collection. This full-bodied collection includes shampoo, body wash, moisturizer, deodorant, everything that you need to smell sweeter than that autumn air. Not only will the Ultra Premium Collection have you smelling fantastic, but you can feel good about it because all of these products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, vegan-friendly, and dye-free. The best ingredients with zero compromise. How can you get this sweet deal, Max? You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping by cutting you off. I was gonna throw it at you, and then I was like, "Fuck you!" I'm taking it back. I was
ready to go. Go for it.
I'm taking it back. You get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FTP if you head over to au.manscaped.com. Now, if someone is deaf, what did I just say, Max?
That is 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FTB at au.manscaped.com. Make sure you have the best package for your package and choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. That's
right. They're this big. Your balls. This big fucking humongous balls. All right, that's enough shilling. This is the section we get into. You can go inform the players. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation. This one's straight off the bat, Max.
Yeah. So...
also, thank you to Taz in the chat. He gave us the follow earlier, and I appreciate that. You guys complimenting the show, saying thank you. You guys have a really good one. Now, after just talking about Manscaped, he might be complimenting our well-trimmed packages, or he could be complimenting the show. Both options. Thank you. But yeah, what happened this week in the news, Max?
So the new PlayStation Plus, the revamped PlayStation Plus, launched here in Australia on Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? Thursday. So coming with that comes the collection of, well, depending on what tier you use. So obviously everyone rolls straight over to Essential because that's what we were all on to begin with. I paid to upgrade mine to the deluxe version, which is the tier 3 essentially. Cost me about, I think it was like $45. Sees me through till the end of January next year. So 6 months. And along with that comes a collection of PS4 and PS5 games, as well as the classic catalog. Unfortunately, we here in Australia are denied the PlayStation 3 titles, which seems to be the majority of the
things
titles
I want to play.
So, there was talk in recent weeks up until this that Sony were like, we're going to have around 700 games at launch. Cool. Turns out there's 802. Problem is, most of those titles are PS3 games, and here in Australia, we do not even come close to 802 titles. It's a real shame. The other problem is that the classics we currently have access to only run at 50 Hz because they're the PAL versions. Sony have, however, taken to Twitter to state that they are planning to roll out NTSC options for the majority of those titles in all of the regions. So we'll bump them back up to 60 Hz. We'll get a few more frames. They'll look a little bit better.
Yeah. So look, we'll jump on that for a second. So first of all, I did the same as you. I bumped mine up to the top end. I went to the premium, whatever
deluxe.
Our premium is, deluxe. It's extra in deluxe. Yeah. So I went to the deluxe because we don't have the premium here, as you said, because Play Australia does not have PS Now. Because my subscription runs out in the middle of August. I paid like $11. Mine wasn't too gnarly. Where Puck in the chat, he had 2 years stacked, so he's got fucked. But some of the games I did pull some PS Classics. I downloaded Ape Escape to play it with my boy.
Me too.
Thought that'd be fun. Siphon Filter was on there as well. I haven't booted it up yet, but like, I understand why they did the PAL version. Couple of reasons. One, it's the version that we all played growing up. So there's that nostalgia of the voice acting, etc. A lot, because there were some games like Ape Escape that has different voice actors for the NTSC version and for the PAL version. That's a one. Two, because the NTSC version is primarily for US and Canada, etc. It didn't have a lot of language options, where the majority of the rest of the world are part of that PAL region. So in order to provide all the language options for all the other countries, this is why I believe they rolled out the PAL version. I don't think they did it intentionally just to fuck with people with the hertz or whatever. They were just like, look, this has the most language options. Here you go. We can roll out one version everywhere. Now, granted, as you mentioned, the PAL runs at 50 hertz compared to 60, so it's gross. It scales up poorly. There's like tearing and it's hitchy, and I kind of got a little motion sick like watching Ape Escape. So like, and I don't normally get all but like, it was rough. I understand the potential reasoning, but like, that was in a day when literally our TVs ran differently. It doesn't exist anymore. Everything runs on NTSC. What's that?
No, in the chat. Wants to know how many hertz can your new TV run again? It's been 5 minutes since you've spoken about your TV.
I fucking love my TV. I'll say at the start of the show, I love this TV because aside from it being amazing, it's made my house feel a bit more homey for some reason, and I'm running with it. I'm really happy with it. I spent enough money on it that I should be happy with it. But yeah, so even with my variable refresh rates, I want to vomit. It was bad. But look, I've had a ton of fun. I went in and I downloaded like 12 games or something straight off the bat. Once again, we're very lucky and we've access to a lot of games in the past. So a lot of the games in the PS4, specifically like PS4 area, we've all played at some point. So like a lot of the big selling points were like, oh, okay, no, we've played the big games. We're very lucky. But there were some that I was able to sneak my way in. So my son, who's right now is just in love with Hello Neighbor. I think there's a bunch of YouTubers that he watches play it, right? So Hello Neighbor's in there, which I already bought, so thanks. But they had this other version called Secret Neighbor, which is essentially an asymmetrical multiplayer game for Hello Neighbor. In the same way that like Friday the 13th or what was that other one? Evolve and etc. Where like one person plays the neighbor and there's five kids. Predator, right? Same concept, but it's built for kids. It's awesome. Yeah. So my son, I think he played it for like 4 hours here on Saturday, and then he asked me to make sure it was downloaded on the PlayStation that I have left at his mum's house. So I was like, sure. So I pushed the download for him over there, and apparently he played it all today. So it's a bad thing for him. And he's, us as parents, but like he's absolutely loving it. What else did I download? I downloaded there's a Goosebumps point and click game in there. I thought, fuck it, why not? I downloaded Injustice 2 because I never finished it, and the campaign was really cool. What else? Fuck, no, I don't remember. Outer Wilds, I dropped down as well. It was pretty cool. Star Wars Racer Revenge. A bit more Star Wars Episode 1 Racing. That was the PS2 game. That was the first thing I played, actually, on the PS Plus. I don't think there's anything else. I just grabbed a bunch of random things that I hadn't played before. I was like, sure, why not? What about you? What caught your interest?
I grabbed Ape Escape.
Nice.
I played through like 40% of it, according to my save file, in one night, in one sitting.
Solid effort.
I downloaded Final Fantasy XIX because it's the only one pretty much that I have never seen all the way through. I downloaded Final Fantasy XII, Zodiac Age. I downloaded Worms World Party because why not? It's good fun. And the first title that I downloaded and played was Tekken 2.
Yeah!
My God, does it look like arsehole.
It looks so shit. Like, the jump from Tekken 2 to Tekken 3 is unimaginable. Like, it's just so insane. It baffles me
why
that Tekken 3 is not there. I know. And it's on the fucking PS Classic too. So I do that because it's on the shelf behind me. But I'm like, why 2 and not 3? Like, I understand you're not going to go like huge. Because, and Toy Story 2, I downloaded that as well because my son loves Toy Story. But, like, all right. You go. I'll let you go first, Max. What is your thoughts? Like, this has been coming for so long. It's finally here. This is essentially PlayStation's answer to Game Pass. Where are you with it?
It's fine. Now, obviously, as we've pointed out, that we are in a very fortuitous circumstance where we have access to a lot of these titles already. To people who don't have access to these titles, it's probably really good value. A lot of the big games that are on here, I either had already purchased myself or we had received codes for review purposes. So for now, obviously they said they're going to be releasing games each month. There's a section on there already that says leaving soon, and I believe Shadow Warriors and a few other games are leaving as early as next month.
Jesus Christ.
Which is crazy because they've obviously been on PlayStation Now for a certain period of time, so they're now just rolling out. But unless their classic catalog gets better, I don't think I'm going to re-up my deluxe subscription.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think extra seems to be the good place to sit at. Because there's just not enough classics that I personally am interested in yet. Now that may change, and I hope it does, but for now, it's just not quite there yet for me.
And I completely agree with you. There are a couple of things that in terms of the classic side, that I feel are missing, and they're likely missing for a reason. But however, I would argue that they are what is needed. So the excitement of it being brand new is what got me across the line now. Because remember, we were talking about it in previous episodes, being like sort of unsure of what we're going to do. Oh, also for everyone watching on Twitch, thank you so much. Mad Dog has come in with a raid. Now, Mad Dog is a friend of ours who runs TCW Twitch Championship Wrestling that you, myself, Jem, and Craig are all parts of. We run Pop Corporate. We're a heel faction at the moment from PopC. I got a win tonight. Max did not. Craig did not. Jem did not. Me. This guy here. So thank you for the raid, Mad Dog. Much appreciated. But yeah, so the classics is what, because that's the thing that's has most excited, right? Because once again, as you said, we've played a lot of the PS4 games. I'm sure there's some cool indie games in there that I haven't played, like Outer Wilds, etc., which is why I jumped onto them. But primarily, it's about the classics for me. In that, I look at it and I go, okay, cool. And then essentially the list as I see it, because if you open the classics section, they really blur that line on classics. As in, they've got the PS2 and PS1 games, but there aren't that many. But they've also thrown like the Nathan Drake collection in there, the BioShock remasters. I'm like, yeah, technically they're classics, but you're pushing it. These are PS4 games, mate.
Nice.
This section.
Well, the thing is,
thank you for the follow.
They were PS3 games, which puts them squarely in that classic catalog.
I know.
So they're not really pushing it. They're technicalitying it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we don't have access to the rest of the PS3 titles. And that's the other issue. Like, I don't think the savings that we're getting for having a deluxe version over the premium version is enough of a kickback for the lack of the majority of the titles actually being PS3 titles.
Yeah.
I think ours only works out to be like 10, maybe $15 cheaper a year, but we're missing like 400 games.
Yeah, it's a little bit fucked. It's absolutely fucked. I am debating like whether I see like I've got a US account. Like, well, can I trial it? Like, can I get a 2-week trial of fucking premium and like see how bad the lag is? Because obviously it has to access servers in the US, so I imagine it'll be shit. But like, I think even if we go to like a Hong Kong version or something.
I have a Hong Kong account.
I have a Hong Kong account too. Like, I used it to buy it to download some betas once. So that's so no. But yeah, I look at that list of classics, and apart from all the trickery of the PS3 two PS4 remasters. Like, yeah, I see Tekken 2, I see Wild Arms, I see Siphon Filter, I see Ape Escape, and then there's a bunch that I'm just missing. And then I think there's pretty big staples too. Now, like, I imagine you're not going to get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 or 2, that already exists in the remastered version, so they're not going to put those original Tony Hawk games on there, let alone the licensing for them would be goddamn ridiculous. You got Tekken 2, where's Tekken 3? You got Siphon Filter 1, where's Siphon Filter 2, Siphon Filter 3? Where's Metal Gear Solid? Where's Silent Hill? What are some other games that, like, even though I don't love the game that much, where is Croc Legend of the Gobbos? That's a big classic. And of course, selfishly, Harvest Moon Back to Nature, where you at? Do it, for Padge, where's Shane Warne Cricket 99? Where, like, they've got Toy Story on there, where's Hercules? They've
got Toy Story. Toy Story 1 was on SNES.
Yeah, Toy Story 2 is on the PS1.
Yeah.
There's a couple of games that, even ones that, I'm going to turn around here, are on the PS Classic that probably should be on there as well.
Well, it's
like
weird.
Cool Borders should have been on there. Destruction Derby should be on there. The original Grand Theft Auto would be dope to have on there. Like they have Resident Evil, the director's cut, the original Resident Evil version on there, which is super weird. They have the old version of Oddworld alongside its new remaster, the new and tasty. Like, there's a bunch of games that are missing. Like, old Tomb Raiders aren't on there. You know what I mean? Like, the games, I understand that there are some that would need, license negotiations as a big hunk of the games on the PS1 and primarily the PS2 as well that were real standouts. Weren't first party or second party titles. They were all thirds.
Well, I mean, Final Fantasy 8, 9, 10, and 12 are all on there, but they don't have, like, 6 or Tactics or... Like, I'm pretty sure they were all on PlayStation 1 as well.
Yeah, and I guess part of this as well is maybe because things are coming. Like, maybe they drop Siphon Filter in there for a reason. Metal Gear's not in there because we've heard this rumor about this Metal Gear Solid remake for forever. Silent Hill 2's got alleged remakes up the sleeve too, up the pipeline. So, like, maybe that's why they're quiet there as well. Who knows? Like, if there's a reason, what is it? And then two, the games that I would like to play right now are the PS3 games. I want to play Resistance. I want to play, Infamous 1 and 2. Like, I also downloaded Killzone Shadows Fall because I never played it. Why is Killzone? Why the original Killzone's not on there? But they would be if they were the PS3 versions. What's another example? Why is The Order not on here? Where's The Order 1886? Nat's not moving any more units anymore. Just put it on there. Fuck it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I understand. Like, it is something that will grow over time. I can sit here and list about all the things that didn't make the cut. But I look at it and I go, okay, there is a lot of room to grow here. And as long as it's not like the old Nintendo Virtual Console where they just drop you one here and there. As long as they don't do that, like, hey, every week you get two. Sorry, once a month you get 2 games. As long as they drop a good substantial amount, I'm happy for things to come and go. As you said, it's expected. It's what Game Pass does the same thing. I still don't expect them to do day and date stuff, nor I think they ever will, because that's not the business model that PlayStation are operating. And, I think there's a couple of
indies might, but they'll never be first party.
Yeah, like Stray's coming to it, which I can't wait for. There's a lot of room for it to grow and be great. So if where I'm sitting at right now, my verdict on the new PS Plus is if you've just bought a PS4 and you never played a PlayStation before, it's perfect for you. But for us, which reasonably would be considered part of the hardcore, I guess. We're hardcore enough to run a fucking show about it. I have it in the tattoo, the symbols tattooed on my arm. Like, this service kind of isn't for me. Like, because I've played most things. Like, I own most of those things. So it really is to bring new people in, I guess. I don't know who it's for. Like, if you've never held a PlayStation before, yeah, rad. If you've had one and you couldn't afford a bunch of games, yeah, that's cool too. But then it's not us. It's weird. It's weird. I don't like I said. I will wait and see. I'll give it. I've got until at least August before I have to renew, and $150 is all kinds of fucked. I just paid $80, so I'll have to wait and see. There's some good shit better happen between now and August. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, see, I've got until January, so I've got a little bit longer leeway to suss it out.
Yeah, but let us know. Let us know. Oh, do you have any more thoughts before we jump on?
No. You're good.
Beautiful. Let us know what you think of the new PS Plus. Let us know in those comments below. Head over to our socials, etc. We'd love to know A, what you're playing. B, what are you playing? Wait, was that the first one? No. A,
see what do you want?
A, what are you playing? B, what do you want? C, is it worth your dollars? Let us know what you think. You can feel free to number them, letter them, do an inconsistent version of all of them, like I just did.
Skip a few.
Just go like A, 2, 7, D. You know, just fuck it. Who cares?
Ryan.
Yeah, man.
Have you found your zone?
It's a personal question.
As rumored earlier this week, Sony is set to announce a new line of gaming-focused gear on the 28th of June. The initiative, apparently not led by PlayStation itself, will span several new announcements, including a trio of headsets which have already leaked, a couple of gaming monitors that have been rumored. All of these items will be branded under the new In-Zone label, but it is unclear whether the PS5's rumored Pro controller will be part of this push.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
Oh.
So basically, the headset seems to be Sony's, what is it, the XM5s? Whatever their new noise cancelling headphones are, they're making a gaming headset out of that.
Oh,
apparently.
cool.
Across 3 different price points. And I think there was 2 gaming monitors that have the little perfect for PlayStation 5 tag on it that will have your that come in 1080p, 4K, 120 hertz, all that fun
Apparently
stuff.
they can
HDMI
pop like
2.1.
240 or something.
Yeah.
So like it's cause this is the thing. Like the fancy pants heads, because this is a Sony event, not a PlayStation event. So it's not going to be entirely focused on PlayStation gear. But like the idea of the monitors doesn't quite make sense, because especially when they have capabilities that the PS5 currently can't even max. So a couple of reasons. The one thing that I did hear that I thought was a really good consideration was, due to Sony's involvement into the esports scene, wouldn't it be amazing to have all the shots of these esports players with nothing but Sony monitors? I'm like, damn, that's a really fucking good point. So I didn't consider that when I first read about this. I'm like, yeah, that makes complete sense. The controller we talked about last week, how they're essentially mimicking what other brands have done, like Thrustmaster with the eSwap controller, or Xbox with the Elite controller, or Scuff, or any other of those sort of brands. So it's good to have their own one, where previously they were relying solely on third parties. Headphones are cool though, because like we reviewed the Pulse, the new Pulse for the PS5, and the headset blows. It's not very good. Not very good at all.
Comfortable. This is not comfortable.
Yeah, A, they're not comfortable, and 2, like their soundscape was shit. Now, granted, they've released a bunch of software updates, and there's like an EQ mode in now, which is really cool. But like, I made my call then. It's on my shelf over there. I'll flip them eventually.
I should mention I pre-ordered a new headset today. Yesterday. Today. I've ordered the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless that will be releasing later this year.
Those mother effers are expensive.
Yeah, $675.
How?
But
how did you convince the wife to let you buy that?
As birthday present.
Wait, wasn't your giant fucking Hogwarts Lego castle your birthday present?
I don't know what you're talking about. Neither confirm nor deny that. Anyway,
play the fifth.
I read a few reviews, and yeah, they seem to be the way to go.
Look, SteelSeries are fantastic headsets.
And my A50s are literally falling apart.
Yeah, look, I've seen your A50s. They're fucked. They're fucked. But like, look, a couple of our friends of the show, like Player 2 and Well Played and Press Start, like they've all reviewed the headset and they're all big fans of it. And like, I have the SteelSeries Arctic, whatever the ones they released for PS5, like they branded them PS5, and they're awesome. I fucking love them. They're really, really good headsets. And like the next tier up of that could only be better if they're built on such good foundations. But the idea of having these PlayStation headphones that are similar to that of the Sony Music brand ones, like they're noise cancelling ones, like they are like the top shelf of noise cancelling headphones. So if you wanted a set, they're the ones you go to. And if they've got ones that can now talk to your console, so you can have them while you're listening to tunes on the train, and then you come home, and next thing you know, you're plugged in your PS5 and you're gaming all without having to actually listen to the real world. That sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. But look, Max, you know, it's all well and good, but as we discussed before about our backlog challenge of the year, one of the things we also did was our video games draft. And I am...
How's that going? I don't even remember what I drafted.
Shut up. It's not going well. That's what the answer is. I'll have to
For
go back.
both of us or just you?
Mostly me, because a lot of mine don't have dates. But one of the things on my list, which I rolled over from last year, is God of War Ragnarok.
Hogwarts Legacy.
And Hogwarts Legacy. It doesn't have a fucking date yet. And then Gotham Knights as well. What the fuck's going on with that?
It's coming in October.
Yeah, it is.
Like, Gotham Knights is coming out. 2 of my games are not coming out. Final Fantasy, my big fucking game, not coming out this year. And fucking Suicide Squad also not coming out this year.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to go back to that episode. I need to get that list again. I know I wrote it down, but look, I've moved houses.
A lot's happened.
Yeah, lots happened since we did that. All right. So, God of War Ragnarok. It was my Hail Mary of last year, and I fucked it. So now it's my Hail Mary of this year as well. Holy shit! But Twitter leaker, The Snitch, not connected to Hogwarts Legacy, an quote insider with a flawless batting record, spanning everything from Sony's recent state of play to a number of announcements throughout not E3 week, or Key 3 as you're calling it. A superimposed Kratos meme with what appears to be a code at the bottom will have PlayStation fans' pulses racing. Many believe that the 11, so 11110 is binary for 30. So effectively, 30th of June. That's a fucking reach. This is Thursday, which is generally when Sony tends to hold state of plays, which is true. We normally get them Friday morning here in Australia. It also correlates with other journalists have been saying that more news will be shared at the end of the month. Now, at time of recording, it is the 26th, so it's Sunday here in Australia. It's very likely that if it were to happen, we'd hear something about it tomorrow, our time, Tuesday. So Monday the 27th, or maybe it's something we'd wake up to on Tuesday morning.
Yeah. And then they're going to announce a delay. Because it's not coming this year. I still very firmly believe that it's not coming this year. If it was originally slated to come out when fucking Last of Us Part 1 version 3 is now coming out, I don't think it's coming.
It is November. Fucking better. See, like, if the code was 11/11/22, I'd be like, well, that checks out. You know, no, they stealing that fucking Starfield date. That's what I thought they were going until I'm like, that's a 0.
That's a 0.
Jumping to binary is fucking bullshit. Like, where? Like, that's like people just looking for fucking faces in the clouds. Like, why? Like, I appreciate their prediction, and like, I'm not gonna hold my hat onto it or anything, but it's just like, it's a hard reach.
The math does all check out. If the rumor has it that, you know, we're gonna hear by the end of the month, it's normally a Thursday. Thursday happens to be the 30th. It, you know,
no,
you know,
that's
stars are aligning.
That's hard conspiracy shit. Don't like it. But do I want the game for this year? Fuck yeah, I do. I will suck some hard dicks till I get that back this year. You know, Corey Barlog, Jim Ryan.
Right.
Look at these things. Look what they could do. Oh, if you can get me God of War.
Just make sure you've used your Manscaped before.
Yeah, that's right. Like, hey, I'll do it.
Don't know any hairs in my teeth.
But yeah, Jim Ryan, let me trim you up a bit first. # sponsored, and then.
Hey.
Speaking of hard dicks, Max.
Yes. So we got a little bit more information on Final Fantasy XVI. I won't dive too deep into it. But if you're interested, over on the PlayStation blog, the producer Naoki Yoshida dives a little bit deeper into Final Fantasy XVI. He talks about how writing the story and the differences that come from producing a standalone title in Final Fantasy XVI compared to the ongoing story of Final Fantasy Online, which he's also working on. And lastly, he talks about how the PS5 hardware has made some of this game possible with the lack of loading screens, pure open world, the processing power, all of that fun stuff that comes with the territory.
So elaborate, obviously, because I give zero fucks about Final Fantasy, where you give all the fucks. How does this land for you?
It was pretty cool. He kind of did like a dive into the recently shown off story trailer, talked about some of the characters in the world, talked about how the gameplay will actually work in the sense of, up until recently, Final Fantasy have been turn-based games where you have a party of players. Mm-hmm. You now will still have that party of players, but they're no longer controllable. You will just be the protagonist. It's action combat, not turn-based, and just the differences in those styles. So it's interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. If not, it's kind of all that technical mumbo jumbo that's just like, just give me the game already. But it's coming out next year, so not much longer now.
Yeah, well, you just get to be excited until then. But quick bits of news. Sucker Punch is allegedly staffing up for what could be, as you've so eloquently put it here, Sushi Ghost 2. So the Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Undead Boogaloo.
Yeah, Japanese Boogaloo. There you go. Samurai will... what? PlayStation... I clearly had a brain fart there. PlayStation will not be at Gamescom this year. Which makes sense. They don't tend
Which is in August?
Yeah, August,
I think... Nintendo also won't be there, and Ubisoft also won't be there. So
yeah, look, it's one of those things with everyone getting to control their own sort of marketing now.
There will obviously be things. Yeah, there will obviously be things that are announced that will be coming to PlayStation, but they're probably just third-party stuff. It's not going to be. They're not going to walk out and be like, "This is when God of War's come out in the middle of Gamescom."
Yeah, when they used to do that when Gamescom, like when conventions were their only places to do it, but now it's not as important. Tom Henderson, the leaker extraordinaire themselves, is at it again. And apparently, Electronic Arts, EA, will be unveiling Skate 4 in July.
Yeah, apparently they're a lot further in development than...
Yeah, when we saw it, whenever that conference was X amount of years ago, they're like, we had an idea for Skate 4, and that's it. So maybe they're a lot further along than we thought, which would be awesome. Speaking of skating games, though, it turns out that Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 remasters were in the pipeline, but then were canned after Blizzard 8 Vicarious Visions and all the shit at Activision Blizzard King went down. Now, we remember reporting on this back in the day when there was that story about Jess Margera, the brother of Bam Margera and the drummer of CKY, talking about how their music was going to reappear in a remaster of 3 and 4, particularly their song 96 Quite Bitter Beings off their first album, Volume 1. There's a bunch of fucking Jess Margera facts. Yeah! So that we knew that it was planned to happen at some point, but all this bullshit. Like if you wanted to hate Activision more, like if you weren't already like angry at them just for their whole being gross, and then investigating themselves and going, we did good. We said we did good. We said we did no wrong. We good. Pat ourselves on the back. We have done non-wrongdoing according to me. This is the reason I hate them. If you for some reason you couldn't hate them on that other shit, use this. Use this to channel your rage. Skull and Bones, the fucking pirate game that Ubisoft announced back in 1982, has been recently rated again. So could it finally be coming out? Who knows? We know the Singapore government have a lot of money invested in it.
They did say it would release by the end of fiscal 2022. So they've got until
July.
March.
Oh yeah, because March. Yeah, because the fiscal year is to March. The Last of Us Part 1 is set to be close to double the file size of its PS4 remaster. So probably very similar to that of The Last of Us Part 2, which is like 2 discs, about 100 gigs. That's probably where it's sitting. And finally, Square Enix is set to hold a live stream for Star Ocean: The Divine Force on the 30th of June, clocking in at around 40 minutes. All right, cool. But one thing we should jump in as well. We didn't want to touch upon this on purpose. So one of the things that's happened this week in the US is the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Now I can speak for myself. I guess I could speak for you. We're pro-choice. Do whatever the hell you want with your body. I don't give a shit. we're noticing a lot of game developers, publishers, whatever, are blasting the internet with their thoughts on it all. For us,
a lot of them making donations, a lot of them honoring to support their staffers with travel costs if need be, all of that stuff that goes into it. And obviously we reported about this a couple of weeks ago when I can't think of what issue it was, unfortunately.
There was
Joe Ryan sent out an internal email saying, guys, everyone should respect everyone else's theories. We should just do work stuff at work. And that's obviously gone out the window because everyone's like, no, this needs to be said.
Yeah.
This is important.
Yeah, and look, the reason that we've chose to put it here at the back is not for disrespect of the topic. It was because us, as two fucking middle-class heterosexual white dudes, we really don't have... We're not... The problem is people like us have said too much, have had too much to say about it for too long, you know, and like they're the people that made this decision. So like although we believe in the power to choose for yourself and do whatever the hell you want, and okay, cool, and we just wanted to acknowledge that a lot of those companies, publishers, developers are doing it. I can hope for the right reasons, cynically. You know, there's companies like Activision Blizzard. They haven't said anything. Funny that. But yeah, I just want to acknowledge that on the end there. So the reason we've chosen not to really make a lot of comment of or make it a major news piece is that we don't feel that we are adequately equipped to discuss it in depth. So
pretty much
with that. All right, Max, what games are coming out this week?
We have Disgaea 6 Complete coming to PS5. All these titles will be coming out on the 28th of June. Disgaea 6 Complete, PS5, PS4. DNF Duel, PS5, PS4. Escape Academy, PS5, PS4. Phobia, St. Dintner Hotel, PS5, PS4. MX versus ATV Legends, PS5, PS4. And the Tour de France 2022,
yeah,
PS5,
Tour de France.
PS4.
Yeah, you gotta say it all fucking dumb.
On the 29th of June, we have The Legend of Bumbo,
Name of my
PS5, PS4. Pardon?
Name of my sex name.
On the 30th of June, we have Arcade Archives, The Thunder Scepter, PS4. Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, DLC, PS4. We have Outriders, World Slayer, PS5,
shit.
PS4. Rabbids, Party of Legends, PS4. And The Galactic Junkers coming to PS5. And on the 1st of July, we have F1 22, PS5, PS4. And Instant Sports All-Stars coming to PS5.
Man, I keep forgetting about Outriders like DLC. I'm gonna have to re-download that bastard. I think that's the only thing that's gonna like pique my interest.
I don't know, man. Tour de France.
Tour de France, yeah. The other one, was it Thunderclap, whatever which is also name of a different sex tape. Whatever the fuck it was, clapping butts.
I mean, Cuphead Delicious Last Course will be fantastic. But
yeah, I didn't finish the main one because it's too fucking hard.
You didn't finish the main course.
No, I know. I couldn't eat I could barely eat the entree. You know, and you want me to go back for more? Not happening. Not happening at all. But anyways, that does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us. As I say each and every week, one of the greatest things you can do is give someone your time. And thank you so much for giving us your time this week to listen to the show. While we're here, big thank you to Cerebral Assassin 05 for the follow on Twitch. Same as Taz Holes and Mad Dog coming in with that raid of 9. Much appreciated. No! In the chat says the Tour de France, the drug-free edition, because no Lance Armstrong is in there. He comes in the ultra premium edition. He does not.
He's a paid extra.
Yeah, he's a paid extra. He's got to pay for that smack somehow. But look, big thank you to everyone that watches us, listens to us, whatever. We really appreciate it. The time that you give us each and every week. So, and because we respect that time, we won't be here that much longer. Max, send us home.
Well, everyone, this PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come and check out our socials, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. If you are listening to a podcast podcast services. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit without logos on it, or you can help support the brands and help support us, just like our friends over at Manscaped. If you head over to au.manscaped.com, use the promo code FTP, save yourself 20% off, and get free worldwide shipping. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was For the Players. Man, how much different is the show when, we sleep before it?
Also, don't forget I'm not here next weekend.
Oh, fuck! Max isn't here next week. Patch! Or anyone.
I told you
anyone who wants to come and join the show, hit me up. Fucking Twitter. Max said it a minute ago. Or Josh. Maybe. We'll work it out.
You could do it in studio show.
Zill, Lance Armstrong should get 50% off Manscaped. Oh!